Alright, so this is like the fourth, fifth time I'm recording this video, but today, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be talking about discovering your dark side and your dark drive. Well, what do I mean by this? Well, I mean that every character that we perceive as ourselves, we always have different hidden talents in between ourselves and our own minds. So, I really want to just talk about this, and this is from the video that I watched from Charlie Morgan, and is from the video that's called Pull Yourself Together. You know, your dark motive is that you use your negative emotions as fuel, because if you really think about it, why do you think a lot of influencers like Andrew Tate always talks about how use your anger, use your emotions, you gotta transfer use it to anger, you gotta use all that anger and put it into the gym or something? Well, that's so true, because if you really think about it, energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be converted. And my question to you is, whenever you're sad, whenever you're depressed, whenever you feel like giving in, what do you do? Because I know there's always gonna be a devil and an angel in between your sides, and I've been noticing that there really is two negative sides of you. There's a positive and there's a negative, and it's usually the negative side that always wins sometimes, But there's always beautiful ways to maneuver this, and in this video, hopefully we can get into that. So what makes me angry? All right, what makes you angry? Because there's a lot of different things that make you angry, and where has greed or desire made me work harder? Because if you think about it, whenever you see people making more money than you, doesn't it just give you that urge to just work harder? Or when you see something or have somebody be greater than you, doesn't that just motivate you to work harder? And instead of, for me, is greed, it's not really greed or desire, it's more of like motivation in a way. I tend to I used to have greed, and I used to be very greedy and stuff like that, but I changed that. I'm telling you, you really have to reframe how your mind works. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta start out small, but it's honestly it's very doable. But what would happen if I didn't use the emotion? So if you didn't have greed, if you didn't use these factors for motivation, they would literally consume you. If you don't consume this, they will consume you. Because if you think about it, if you don't control your greed, you will get more greedy. Your desire will be more desirable, and all of your hard work and all that bullshit will just go down the drain. Because then, when you have all the desires, you just be left empty. You know what I'm saying? You won't have anything left. You need to enslave yourself to your goal. What do I mean by this? You have to serve your vision like a slave serves his master. So, if there is a higher version of yourself, right? That basically means that you literally see yourself as potential, because you do. Because all you have to do is literally bring that character to life. All you have to do is kill the bad habits and bring them into new. You have to really be the person on who you really want to become, on who your mind perceives, on who you think you are. You have to become it. What is your number one goal in life right now? You have to ask that question, okay? A little later in this video, if you guys can just screenshot it and just make this and write it down and make them as your own questions, because these questions really go off to you. And for me, I have my own theories and stuff like that. So for me, I just don't want to share all my personal questions and stuff like that. But think about it. What is your number one goal in life? What is it? Is it freedom? Is it money? Is it girls? What is it? Because you really got to dig deep down in your own mind and your own thoughts, and because you really got to understand your life's purpose. Have you fully committed, or are you still negotiating with comfort? Because comfort really is the silent killer of everything. If you really start to understand that, the more you start to procrastinate, the more you start to not do the shit you want to do. It's kind of crazy how time goes by, and it starts to get more scarier in life, because the moment you start to realize, damn, I'm getting old, is the moment that you need to start hurrying up. So don't fucking wait on that shit, man. And what pain will I feel if I don't achieve it? What pain will you feel if you don't achieve your goals? If you don't ever become rich, how would you feel? Wouldn't you feel regret? Wouldn't you feel shame? That should literally be motivating you, bro. It's crazy, because I never really thought about this, and I started getting into discovering about the mind and everything more recently. And the reason why I started getting into all this is because I feel like, for me, it helped me out, is that I got closer to God, and He's been opening doors. He's been opening up everything for me, man. Just because I'm getting closer to Him, and I told Him that for Him, and He says that if you come to me, I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the whole thing about the world, man. All you gotta do is come to me. So that's what I did, and I've been trying to do everything all by myself. But if you really think about it, man, there's always gonna be a higher version of yourself, a higher power than you. There's gonna be somebody bigger than you, and that person for me is Jesus. So recognizing and realizing your victimhood. No more blaming, it's all on you. Victimhood is usually something that I've been understanding a lot, which was I used to blame everything on all these people, all these influencers, all these things. Oh, it's because I lost money because I watched this person. No, if you really think about it, everything is all accountability. So, where is it? Where do I still make excuses or blame others? Ask yourself these deep questions, because the more you learn about yourself, the more you start to grow in life. And that's the whole reason why I'm trying to make this video, because the whole channel, the reason why I'm doing all this is because I want to see myself grow, I want to see myself succeed, and I want to help other people do it as well. So, what truths am I avoiding about my own responsibilities? Because the truth is, you are avoiding a lot of things. I don't know what, but you in your own mind knows. So, I don't really want to judge you, but do you have everything you already need? So, if you're watching this video, you have a phone, you have YouTube, you have internet. So that means you pretty much do have everything you need. You literally, all you need to do is implement what I'm telling you to become successful. It's crazy. For you to actually understand more about your dark side is to really just listen and apply it. But we as humans don't want to do that. We rather take the easy way, the path of least resistance, because we would rather take the path that's just more easy, bro, more comfortable, more in bed. If I could get money in bed, I'll do it instead of doing hard work. Like, you always want the easy shit, and that's crazy. You need to reprogram your mind that that's the worst way to make money. The worst way to level up is to have the easy shit. You need to go through the hard shit. No wonder why 99% of people in the trading industry fail. No wonder why 99% of people in this business or trying to get rich, they all fail, because they lack one skill, and which is you just need to be responsible about your own decisions and actions. Because at the end of the day, you're all by yourself. Be ruthless. What do I mean by that? Don't fear competition, you crush it. Don't fear about anybody. Whenever you look at these influencers online, don't compare yourself to these people, bro. That's something that I've been doing. I compare myself a lot. Why? Because comparison is the thief of joy. But if you understand it, there's another side of you that thinks that you can have what that person has, which is true. All you need to do is alternate that thinking, that circuit, into something bigger, something different. Okay? And what do I mean by that? Do you truly believe you should win? And this is what that comes into play. Because if you look at other people and you want what they have, do you truly believe it? That you should earn it? Do you truly believe that? Do you really put in the hard work? Do you really stay up all night? Do you really learn about yourself? Do you really actually fucking lock in about yourself? Probably is. Fucking not. Not to judge, but just really think about it, man. You have to be honest with yourself. Brutally honest. Even if you may not want to hear it. But that's the only way you're going to be able to grow. If you learn from the truth. But people don't want to learn from the truth because it's too much to handle. Well, obviously, fucking if you want to learn how to grow and fucking make money, bro, you're gonna have to fucking level up. So, are you willing to go harder than them no matter what? Are you willing to go harder on yourself, actually, than them? Think about it, because in this game, you're leveling up on who you are first. Don't focus on nobody else. Don't fucking have competition. Fuck everybody else, bro. That's the number one thing that I need to work on. Work on myself. Fuck everyone else. I'm gonna make money for myself, my family, and take care of everyone who I love. You know what I'm saying? And when I have everything, here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing is, I feel like I have nothing, but I have everything. And what do I mean by that? Well, I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about cars. I'm not talking about the women. I'm talking about my mindset. I feel like the more I'm learning about myself, the more I'm learning about money, the more I'm learning about the world, the more I'm learning about God, it's more eye-opening to just see how everything just works, And I don't know. But I really do feel like I have everything in the world, man. Like, and it's just crazy. You may not say that, you may not see it, but in my own eyes, I do. So in number 5, I want to talk about is cultivate desperation. What is that? Comfort is the enemy. Desperation is power. Well, what is desperation and what is comfort? Am I too comfortable right now? Well, whenever you ask yourself, are you too comfortable? Well, where you are in life, are you where you want to be? You are at a point in your life where you know you need to get rich, but you just don't want to because maybe mom and dad are taking care of you, or maybe in the back of your mind, I'm taken care of. But you know that you need to fucking work hard. You know in your back of your mind, you need to fucking get this shit going, because if not, you're fucking up in life, bro. And that should scare you. That should literally give a fear in your mind where it's like, it's like, oh shit, I need to get my shit together. From that on, it goes to, what would it feel like to need success, not just want it? Because if you really need success, if you really needed to get money, you would do anything in your power to get fucking money. And I didn't. I'm like, yo, okay, think about it. I want to get $1,000,000, yeah, but do you really want it? Do you really need that? Because if you really needed it, bro, you would really do anything in this power to get that money, bro. And it's crazy. So wanting, but the thing is, do you want it though? So let's say your mission in life is to get money, okay? And let's say you get money, but after you get money, what do you do with it? You know, a lot of people tend to have this big gigantic goal about money, but then once they have it, they lose it all, and then they just don't give on that purpose no more. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta have a different meaning. Because let me tell you something that you may want is not something that you need. So figure out what do you actually need in life. Because when you figure out what you actually want and what you need instead of wanting, working towards it is gonna be more easier than wanting it. You know? I don't know. That's how I think. But how can I create urgency without waiting for a disaster? Well, look at your current life right now. If you are looking at your life right now and you ask yourself, am I where I want to be? No. Do you have that car? No. Do you have that watch? No. Do you have the willpower to do you think that you can achieve anything in your mind? Yes. But we all have urgency, right? We all know that we need to become the best version of ourselves. We all know that we need to do something, right? We all know that we have different tasks in our own life, right? Which is maybe get that job, maybe get that girl, maybe just anything you want. You literally have to create urgency, and you have it. We all have it. You know, all you gotta do is just ask yourself, what is it? And then you'll figure out your motive. And then once you know your urgency, I feel like it's just unlimited motivation from there. Like from then on, you're just gonna be winning. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a money printer from then on, you know? So now we go to topic number 6. We only have 5 more. Alright, so you negotiate with your dark side. Don't ignore it, you tame it. Well, if you really think about it, in our lives, we all have a dark side, right? We really do. We all have that angry side of it. We're all lustful, we're all sinful, and we have to like kind of come in agreement with it. In a way where I talk about how like you tame it. You know what I'm saying? You control it. Because what's the dark side of me that I hide from the world? There's always going to be a dark side from you that hides from the world. You know, it's just some wild, crazy shit that you never want to tell nobody. It'll make you uncomfortable knowing a lot of stuff about your dark side, but it's something that you need to come and agree with, you know, with yourself, you know what I'm saying? So, when does it come out the most? When do you notice this dark side from you that comes out of you? Like, when do you really notice it? Because you need to notice about your emotions a lot. You need to really understand, like, where do certain events in your life happen, okay? And how can I use it without letting it destroy me? Well, if you use your negative dark side, right, like anger, you could, instead of being angry and shouting to people, just use it for the gym. Because then you'll be angry. You could release your anger, all the, you know, the urgency that you have, and just bump out how many sets, bro. And like, you know, you are literally just making that energy and you're putting it into something more positive, okay? You should really create the new version of yourself and be that person. You literally have to change you gotta fake it till you make it in a way, okay? Because your subconscious mind doesn't know what is right or wrong. So you could literally fake yourself in a way, you know, into becoming who you want to be. But in order for you to do that, you need to, you know, obviously do the work and do the action. Because you're just telling yourself, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be rich, I'm gonna be rich. You're not gonna do it. Without, you know, faith without works is, you know, you can't get something if you don't put in the work, basically. You know what I'm saying? So be really realistic with it. What parts of me do I need to let go of in order to grow? Your current self and your new self is like a chain. You need to break that chain, because once that chain breaks, your old person, it goes to the left and your new person goes to the right. So once that chain breaks, once you start to slowly, just in small, simple, incremental steps, bro, you just take it small. Here's the thing. You need to really take it small, bro. Don't make it all just one day, just boom, you stop doing all the things, because then your dopamine levels are really high. So then that'll mean that if you take those dopamine levels away, you'll be, you know, finding different ways to distract yourself. And don't do that. Just do it in small, simple steps. You know, maybe one day, you know, for 1 hour, you know, you used to play a lot of video games, but now you only read for 15 minutes, right? You read a book for 15 minutes, and then you start to, you know, make these small little adjustments, and then you increase them, and then that'll be your, you know, natural state. So instead of playing video games, you read a book. Or maybe instead of, you know, playing video games, you watch a podcast. You understand, you learn, because you need to build the new person. You know what I'm saying? Stop fixing the old one. Just let him go, right? And who do you need to become? Who do you want to become in the process? When all this works out, who do you want to be? How do you want to be presented? Because in life, you need to know where you're going. You're just like a feather in the wind, blowing from sad place to happy place to sad place to happy place. So, choice is yours. But, all right, take the path of the most resistance. Do what's hardest. That's the way forward. That's literally the key component to all of these different things. Is you literally have to do the hardest things for you to go forward. And I'm not here, and here's a really big misconcepted part about, doing the hard things. It's the hardest task, right? And what I mean by, I feel like hard tasks is just basically just mind work, right? When you wake up so early in the morning because you've only had 2 hours of sleep, like that's hard, but it's in your mind, Think about it. It's not like you're not physically pushing shit. It's your mind. So if you really think about it, bro, you have to fix your belief system because you're programmed into thinking it's hard for me to wake up in the morning. It's hard for me to go to the gym. It's hard for me to eat right. It's hard. No, you're affirming it. You're speaking it into existence and you're making it real because your subconscious mind doesn't know what is right or wrong. Like, this is the craziest part. Like, I've been lying to myself that because sometimes I do fuck up in trading, and I've been like, fuck, I'm a fuck up or some bullshit. But it's that part where you start to, do the hard things and you start to notice a lot of different things about yourself, right? Because when you start doing a lot of hard things, bro, you start to question yourself. And when you start to question yourself, you start to know yourself, bro. So ask a lot of questions when you do a lot of hard shit. And when you don't want to do it, you do it. It's a different feeling. It's like a big reward in a way, So what pain are you dodging daily? So for me, I tend to not want to wake up every morning. I tend to snooze, but I still wake up. That's the thing. That's something that I'm dodging with. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie. It's I'm still defeating it, but it's working out because I'm building it slowly. So what parts of your day that you don't want to do, but you need to do? Basically, that's that question. What's the hardest thing I can do today that would make me better? So what's something that you can do, right? Maybe it doesn't even have to be big. That's the crazy part. It doesn't have to be a big task. It doesn't really have to be a big, project that you have to commit to and that it's all your life's work. No. Start off with small little simple steps, bro. And literally, bro, it's small simple steps. That's how you're gonna get far, and that's how you're gonna get rich. Is by doing it small and take. So number 9 is don't tolerate idiots. Your circle must reflect your mission. So your circle and who you hang out with is really going to shape on who you're going to become. If you hang around with a lot of dumb idiots, if you hang around with a lot of people who smoke weed or drink or just, that are really bad influence and in your back of your mind, you should be hanging out with, you should literally get new friend groups. I don't give a fuck who the fuck they are, bro. I don't give a fuck who you are. If I know that you fucking messing up in my life, bro, and if I know that you fucking up in my life and you ain't pushing me to become better, like, I'm just not gonna talk to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna, like, oh, you're not my friend, I'm just not gonna talk to you. You know what I'm saying? But respectfully. But who around you is slowing you down? You need to ask that question. You just need to remove them. Just avoid them, bro. And if they're like, oh, dude, you switched up, and this and that, it's like, well, I'm trying to get better, and you're just the same person. You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it, people don't want to grow, bro. People don't want to fucking change, man. People are fucking lazy, man. And it's crazy because I say all these things, and it's like it's a boom reflection of me, and it's crazy because I was once there, and I'm working my way out of it, and it's a process, but it's getting done. So who do you need to cut off and confront? Sometimes, bro, you need to just confront that person that's bugging you or something that just, in your mind that it's like, fuck, this person's like really fucking me up, and you just do it. Or just, like I said, cut them off. Just don't even talk to them. I feel like for you, bro, just don't even talk to anybody. Just lock in, bro. So the last one is ignore everyone. You need to literally lock in, bro. I don't give a fuck who the fuck it is, bro. You need to just focus on your own work. Most people aren't doing what you want to do. Most people don't even want to trade. Most people don't want to learn. Most people do not want to at least engage in anything that's productive, that's motivating, that's helpful in their life. because like I just don't understand people, bro. Like I was once, that kid. I didn't want to do anything, but I grew out of it. I thank God that I grew out of it. But it's kind of crazy to realize that there's so many people in this world that are so fucking lost, that are so stupid and so dumb minded and brain fucking dead. Like, it's crazy to realize, like, that was once me, but I'm glad that I'm getting myself out of that shit, because, dude, if I were to stick to that fucking TikTok brain, if I were to just compare myself, if I were to do all these different things that I'm doing to destroy myself, bro, like, what a monster would I become, bro? Like, damn, like, it's crazy. Like, I thank God I'm out of that shit, man. But it's honestly a never-ending process, because once you start to, listen to yourself, once you start to actually obey yourself, confront yourself, learn from your mistakes, and actually grow, your life magically just starts to change. It really does. You got to be very aware of who are you listening to that you shouldn't be, because there's a lot of these influencers on these fucking gurus on making money. Just get rid of all that and listen to people who actually made it, that are older, that have actually wise decisions, that are actually know what they're doing in life, bro. Why do you think I have so many books? I should be reading them. You should be reading all much books as you can, because that's where the golden nuggets are. So make sure to always be learning. All right, who actually has these results? Who actually in your field? Who actually made it? Who actually been successful? All you gotta do is just copy them. That's really it. Can you trust yourself more than anyone else? Well, that is a big question, and that is something that you need to understand about you. That's kind of pretty much the home run of everything. Can you really trust yourself? Can you really believe in yourself that you can wake up every morning at 5 o'clock, or do something outrageous in your own mind that you know that you can do it, you just don't want to? And that's, my friend, that right there, that is that whole premise of everything that I'm talking about comes into this conclusion: is discovering your dark drive. Once you start to understand yourself and all these 10 different questions that I asked you, answer them, and you will know more about yourself than 99% of the people on this planet don't even know what the fuck is going on in their own lives. But you at least took the time out of your day to watch this video. So I hope you become successful. I hope you become the best version of yourself. And if you want to see where I got all this information, go to Charlie Morgan. Pull yourself together. Go watch it. And I'll see you guys later. Alright? Peace.